What's good, everyone? So I haven't showed this bike on the channel. This is my first track bike that I bought, I want to say like 4 or 5 years ago. And I ended up selling it to my buddy who unfortunately went down on it. And when he went down, he damaged the frame. Can't really tell, but it's like dented right here. So I need to get a new frame for it because I'm not going to ride it like that. Or I might just leave it and use this as a practice bike because I'm probably going to buy it back because this is my first track bike and I have sentimental value with the bike. I mean, it's pretty rough. It looks worse than it really is, but it's just a dog. Like, the exhaust is cracked, pegs bent, but this was my first ever track bike. Has K-Tech suspension, GPR, steering damper. I like the 408 Tucker. I tried looking for that, but I can't find it. It doesn't run right now just because it's been sitting. Like, it has charge, but my buddy's gonna have to go through the wiring, and maybe the fuel pump's bad, but yeah, I won't even start. But gear indicator. When I first got into track riding, this is the bike I bought. My buddy went with me and we went to go get it. Looking back on it now, it was probably the best decision I've ever made. If I were to do it again, I would go 400 and then a 600, but I think the 400 probably could have gave me some better habits, maybe a little bit faster. But the 600, this is like the best track bike, the R6 in particularly, because the parts, everything's cheap. And I know it looks roughed up, but I'm just gonna get it back to where it's running, and this is gonna be my practice bike. Like I've showed on the channel, I have the blue R6, which is like my race bike. It has everything. It's kind of like the bougie. This is like the older, uglier sister, but she still gets down. She rips. I was passing leader bikes on this bike, and when you have a bike like this that's already damaged and is kind of beat up, you don't really care if you drop it, so you can ride with that clarity in mind, like, oh, it's okay, like, if something happens. That makes sense. Compared to the blue one, I'm a little bit more hesitant to drop. But sometimes bikes like these are all you need. And if you're on a budget, I would definitely check out some track bikes. See if you could get any deals. But I say this to say, you gotta start at the bottom and work your way up. I have the R6, I have my R1s, but you have to start at the bottom. And I think when I started racing and I started getting to track, I would see people with, like, you know, brand new R1s, brand new 1000s, and I never really paid any attention to it because I love this bike. I loved having the opportunity to go out there and ride, and sometimes you can't have it all. You gotta be thankful for what you have, and this bike really, you know, this bike is super sentimental to me because it's my first track bike. I love riding, and I think I'm gonna keep it, buy it back from my buddy, and just go through it and get it back to where I can ride it on the track. But don't get caught up on all the bougie bikes and nice bikes. You got to start at the bottom and work your way up from there. But that's a quick video on my R6. So that's just my thoughts. You can start on a 400. 300s are cool. 300 and 400s are cheap, but I just wanted to show you guys this bike because not everything on the channel is like new and nice. You know, you have like roughed up diamonds, which is this bike, but the bike rips. You don't need to be flashy. You don't need to have the best of the best. the most expensive bike on the track. You can get a dog like this. As long as you ride hard and you love riding, that's all that matters. It's always about the rider and how ambitious you are. And if you can do it on something like this, you can pass R1s and pass S1Ks. It says a lot because you're riding with something that's minimal compared to them. They have all the electronic aids, they have everything. But if you can do it on this, people are going to respect you more because you don't have the best bike, but you're still going out there, you're still trying, you're still at the track, you're still putting time and effort, and people like that. And you're going to be a better rider for the track, for the street, for racing, if you can do it with less and do more. But if you have heart and you got a bike and you want to ride and you can make it happen, it doesn't have to be $20,000 bike. It could be a $4,000, $5,000 bike, and keep pushing yourself. But this is my first track bike I ever had years ago, and this is where I started. And now I'm racing the R1 and the R6, and I take those to the track. But I'll always have a special place for this bike in my heart. And I know on social media you see a lot of people, they have the best and the newest stuff. Don't worry about that, man. Ride your ride, use what you got, and ride hard. Peace.